In a game that gave Chiefs fans few reasons for happiness, one positive takeaway is that Xavier Worthy looks like the real deal. The potential for the Patrick Mahomes-Xavier Worthy connection in the years to come is something that it should excite all Chiefs fans. The Chiefs started to get Xavier Worthy involved in this game in the third quarter, and as the game progressed and the Eagles' defensive line got tired, really tired of dominating the Chiefs' offensive line, the Chiefs had a little bit of time and were able to utilize Xavier Worthy's dynamic skills down the field. This is something that I hope will be incorporated more and more into the Chiefs' offense as they go. As you know, the Chiefs have been a more precision passing game in the last couple years, taking underneath throws, moving the ball down the field methodically. But as the Eagles showed, that a cap can be put on that as well, and having dynamic ability again will be a must for this Chiefs offense going forward, and I think it'll all start with Xavier Worthy. Well, let's take a look at what he did in this game, starting here with 14:39 to go in the third quarter. At this point, the Chiefs are already down 24-0. We're coming out of halftime, and the Chiefs have a 2nd and 4 at their own 36-yard line. Let's take a look at this play, and then we'll break it down. Mahomes is in the shotgun. Pacheco's to his right. He's got 3 to the left, 1 to the right. He drops back, throws it quick to Worthy, who breaks a tackle and scampers upfield for a gain of 8. And for the Chiefs' second first down of the game, coming early in the second half. So let's break down what happened. As they have done for most of this game, the Chiefs came out in 11 personnel, meaning they have 1 running back, that's Isaiah Pacheco, and 1 tight end, Travis Kelce. Their 3 wide receivers are Hollywood Brown, Juju Smith-Schuster, and Xavier Worthy. With the Chiefs run, they've got a slant-flat combination here with Brown running the slant, Pacheco coming out into the flat. They've got Kelce running a little hook over the middle with Juju running a slant behind him, and Worthy is just going to sit here because of the amount of respect given to him by Quinyon Mitchell. He's got that much room, so he just stops. Mahomes identifies this pre-snap that he's got this kind of off coverage, and he just throws it out there to give Worthy a chance to make a play. The Eagles have been an incredibly good tackling defense on these like short to underneath passes. And you see here Quinyon Mitchell is ready to come up, and his tackle's broken immediately by Xavier Worthy, who then is quick enough to get 8 yards and a first down. This dynamic ability is going to come in handy for years to come with the Chiefs, and to add some elusiveness, this is a great tackling team, and Quinyon Mitchell is a great tackling corner. Always good to see. And this play is kind of exemplary of what happened throughout the night here. You can see the Eagles look at all their defenders and how they're guarding this. You know, Mitchell is starting out, but he's ready to charge forward. Look at the safety here. I think that's Blankenship. Right at the snap, he's trying to go over to the slant-flat combo. These guys aren't worried at all about being beaten deep because they know that Mahomes isn't going to have time. I mean, you need 3.5, 4 seconds back in the pocket for your receivers to be able to make it downfield and get open deep. They're up 24-0, and that makes it even easier for them to just sit on the shallow stuff because they know that anything, they're not really that worried about the run. Their defensive linemen can pin their ears back and just go after the quarterback. And if Mahomes is going to get this ball off, he's going to have to do it quick. Even then, with a hard charging, good tackling corner, Worthy's able to break this tackle and get a first down. Good way to get him started in this game, get some kind of rhythm. Although, obviously, it was way too little, way too late. Here it is from the end zone. And you can see Mahomes is just looking for Worthy. He sees the off coverage. He's going to give him a chance. Worthy does a good job of catching the ball and quickly moving laterally to get out of Mitchell's tackle, getting upfield for the first down. Well, now we're at 2:33 to go in the second quarter, and the Chiefs are down 34-0. They've got a 1st and 10 at their own 10-yard line, And let's take a look at the play, and then we'll break it down. Mahomes is in the gun. He's got Worthy and Brown to his left, Kelsey to his right. He drops back, has time to climb the pocket, and fires it over the middle to Worthy, who catches it outside the numbers and gets down to the 40-yard line for a gain of 50. So, what happened in this play? The Chiefs, again, this time come out in 12 personnel. So they've got one running back, and they've got two tight ends, Noah Gray and Travis Kelsey. And they really work hard to protect Mahomes here on this one. So what they end up doing is they double both defensive tackles using their right tackle and their right guard on one. And they use the center and the left guard on the other. That leaves Tooney, the left tackle, one-on-one with an end. And the end over here, they get a combination of Noah Gray and Isaiah Pacheco blocking. So they've got two eligible receivers in just to block. So only three people going out on a pass pattern here. What is the pass pattern? They've got Kelsey coming up and running an out route. They've got Hollywood Brown releasing in and then coming and running a post. And then they've got Xavier Worthy running a deep over. The Eagles look like they're in a cover 3. So what they end up doing is they have this safety buzzed down. So the underneath defenders are going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the deep are 1, 2, 3. However, there's nobody in the flat that can come to the flat, especially once Pacheco comes out here. So to block. Right, so Pacheco's over here. Literally, both of these two receivers are releasing down the field. So Cooper DeJean here, there's no reason for him to hang out in the flat. That would be a waste of a defender. And I feel like Fangio's defenses do a great job of matching, where instead of wasting a defender out here in the flat, he just ends up running with Worthy across on his over. And the same thing kind of happens as the safety buzzes down here, and then he realizes nobody's coming in the flat because Gray's staying in the block, Pacheco's staying in the block. You'll see that he will start retreating back too and help cover the over. So watch as this goes. Mahomes takes the snap, and as you see, DeJean is essentially like playing man-to-man coverage on Worthy. And the safety is staying over the top of the deeper route here by Brown. So as the safety stays over, and then you can see what I was talking about with this safety over here. He initially buzzes down like he's going to take the flat, and then he sees neither of these guys is going to come out to the flat. So watch what he does. He makes an about turn and starts heading down the field, and then when he sees Worthy's over, he starts sprinting down the field to try to get there. It's a well-coached defense from Vic Fangio. It doesn't really allow a lot of openings. They do a great job of kind of changing what they're doing based on the offensive play call. I mean, it's interesting, seeing a guy covering an over route and then a guy who would normally be buzzed down here in the flat coming back and trying to prevent the route. But even with two guys noticing this over route and trying to stay with it, Mahomes still is able to fire this ball in. That's not a good line drawn. The ball ends up being somewhere more out there. But he just fires that ball and hits Worthy. I mean, this is a great throw, and it just shows how Worthy in the open field is so lethal. Because of the protection here, because they have 7 in the block, Mahomes actually has time. He hits the back of his drop. He's able to climb the pocket and throw this. And you can see when Mahomes has time and Worthy has time to get open, look at what can be done. It's unfortunate that the Chiefs weren't able to create situations with protections like this in the past. They actually did try to use a similar combination here, this time with Kelsey and Pacheco. And Kelsey kind of got a piece of the defender, and Pacheco left enough of a gap that the defender got in between them. But this time, Gray and Pacheco work really well together to keep Nolan Smith off. Mahomes has room to step up because the double teams on the tackles worked really well, to the point that Caliendo was able to come off and leave Creed one-on-one, and he was able to handle Milton Williams right there, and Mahomes just stepped up and fired that in. So this connection's very exciting. And look, I mean, Worthy's just running through. People aren't going to be able to run with him. You get him in the slot, you get him running these deep over routes. There's a lot of potential there. And when the Chiefs finally figured out a way to give Mahomes a little bit of time to throw, they got something electric. I mean, look at this protection. They're having to devote 7 guys to block 4. It's really something. Sorry, that's Kelsey's not involved in that. That's here and here. And then Tooney is the one guy who's one-on-one. But if you see Caliendo, after he's double teaming, he leaves the double team here as Creed's kind of got it, and he comes over to try to help Tooney on the inside here. But they had to have 7 in to create the time. But on the other end, the Chiefs only had 3 receivers going up against 7 defenders. But when Mahomes had time to throw, able to hit Worthy for a huge gain. Now we get to about 43 seconds to go in the third quarter. Chiefs still down 34-0. We're on the same drive as the previous play we just looked at. The Chiefs have a 1st and 10 at about the Eagles' 24-yard line. Let's take a look at what they do, and then we'll break it down. We got Mahomes under center here. He's got 3 receivers to his right, tight end to his left, and Pacheco in the backfield. He rolls out to his right and is immediately under pressure, runs all the way over to the sideline, and then fires a strike to Xavier Worthy for the Chiefs' first touchdown of the game. They would fail to get the 2-point conversion, so ultimately that made it 34-6. So let's take a look at this play and what happened. So here we've got the Chiefs again at 11 personnel, 1 running back, Isaiah Pacheco, 1 tight end, Noah Gray, and their 3 wide receivers are Justin Watson, Juju Smith-Schuster, and Xavier Worthy. So they're running a bootleg action for Mahomes and having the entire line block left. Because of that, they're leaving Brandon Graham with Juju Smith-Schuster's responsibility to kind of wall him off enough that Mahomes can get outside of him, and honestly, he barely got that done. Justin Watson runs like that leak route where he comes across and then gets up the field. Noah Gray runs kind of a post, and Xavier Worthy from this side runs like a corner pattern, and Isaiah Pacheco comes out to the flat. So if we watch this, here's Mahomes, and see Juju is the guy that's supposed to be able to wall off Brandon Graham here, but Graham got off the snap quickly, and Juju really struggled to prevent Graham from getting enough depth. Mahomes likely did not intend to have to come out that far. If he had been walled off better, Mahomes could have released more shallow, but he had to kind of bow around to get away from Brandon Graham. The Eagles' coverage, it looks like they're running quarters coverage with deep fourths. They're running cover 4 here. But again, they do a lot of matching. So if you notice, Mitchell will go inside with Noah Gray, and so then Blankenship will come outside. They do a good job of kind of running with guys and replacing each other. And the other part, if you notice, if they've got a cover 4, that means they have 3 underneath defenders. And look at how one of them kind of runs with Justin Watson, but the other 2 don't waste their time sitting in the middle of the field. When Mahomes is rolling out, they go out too. They do a good job of matching and actually covering areas that receivers are going to go to, or receivers might get the ball in rather than other areas. Look, there's nobody here because they're not worried about it. There's no route going there. Mahomes is running away from that area. They do a good job of condensing in the areas where it's likely to get a throw. Now, the one thing about this is Mahomes' threat of the legs is what allows this touchdown to happen. Because if you look on this side of the field, there's 1 receiver. It's just Xavier Worthy. And there are 4 defenders. But 3 defenders are keeping an eye on Mahomes and staying up, even though there's nobody shallow here. Even 1 or 2 maybe handling the run and another person dropping back to help out could have been beneficial. But we got 3 people worried about Mahomes' legs. That leaves Worthy one-on-one with C.J. Gardner-Johnson, and you like your chances here. CJ Gardner-Johnson, good player, kind of a declining player, but still a good player, but coverage is not really his strong suit. The other part to note about this is Mahomes, because of Graham coming in and providing pressure, and then the incredible speed of Jalen Carter, too, getting to the side, Mahomes is essentially at full sprint this entire play. He's at full sprint running to the sideline, and ultimately, as Worthy gets some depth, the defender staying underneath gives him a lot of space here to try to throw Worthy open. And so Mahomes just fires one for Worthy to come back to. And I mean, look at this throw. I mean, that's one of the best throws Mahomes has made all season. It's really unfortunate that it came when the game was, essentially over here. They're down 34-0 near the end of the third quarter. But this is actually a very, very high-level play from Mahomes. Eluding the rush, running at full sprint over to his right, and firing a missile down. And again, Worthy, just anyone who thinks this guy is just a deep threat or just a speedster is not paying attention. Look at Worthy, stop, come back to the ball, get down, and make this catch. He's made some tough catches in this playoff run. Had a good one on the, a one-on-one, like Mahomes threw it up there against the Texans. He had that crazy one against the Bills where he managed to snatch it away from the defender. And then look at this, just coming back and getting that ball. That is really great. You can see it here from the end zone view. Mahomes under pressure already. And look at him. He's at full sprint, running for his life. As he gets to the sideline, heaves it. Look at the angle. He heaves it across his body while running full sprint in this direction. Throws it back this way, and then look at the accuracy, the way he's able to get that ball down so that CJ Gardner-Johnson has no chance of getting it to it. Worthy comes back to it, and he got it far enough inside. Oh, man, that's such a good throw, and a great job by Worthy coming back and getting that ball. That kind of connection is really exciting for the future. The fact that they're on the same page and both capable of making a play like that, hope we'll see a lot more of that in the next coming years from Mahomes and Worthy. We now pick it up with 6:20 to go in the fourth quarter. Chiefs are now down 40-6, and they have a 2nd down and 2 at about their own 47-yard line. Let's take a look at this play, and then we'll break it down. We've got Mahomes in the gun, 3 to his left, 1 to his right. Steps back, hits Worthy, gets a quick gain of 12 yards. So this is something that should continue to be available throughout for Xavier Worthy in his career when teams play him in off coverage here. So right now the Chiefs are in 11 personnel again with Isaiah Pacheco as the running back and Travis Kelce as the tight end. That's 1 running back, 1 tight end gets you 11 personnel. Wide receivers are DeAndre Hopkins, Justin Watson, and Xavier Worthy. And they're going to have Kelce run kind of a little post. Watson is going to come and sit initially and then try to get depth. Hopkins is just going to run an in-cut, and Worthy's going to just run a curl. He's going to come up and stop. Pacheco is going to kind of come up the seam. It looked like he was going to stop right here. Unclear if he was going to continue with depth. But at this point, the Eagles are playing a little more off coverage. They've got cover 4 here. And I think after getting beaten deep once, they're respecting the deep ball a little bit more. I think recognizing that their defensive line is starting to get tired, and so they aren't a guarantee to just get to the quarterback if given 3.5+ seconds. So here with that off coverage, they still, the linebacker does a good job of getting width here and trying to make this a narrow window. But Worthy gets to his spot quickly and gets his head around. Mahomes is able to hit that target. Worthy does a good job of coming to the ball, and it's an easy 12 yards. This is the kind of thing that in the quick game should be there in most games for the Chiefs going forward, and it's something that they'll surely utilize a lot with Worthy, with the respect that teams are going to give his speed. We can see it here from the end zone view. It's just a quick throw, easy throw. The window is still there, even though the linebacker is doing a good job of getting out there. Xavier Worthy's going to have these kinds of things if he continues to beat teams deep. They're going to be forced to show him some respect, and the kind of underneath, quicker plays are going to be there for him. And now we pick things up on what would be the last offensive play for the Chiefs. We've got 1:56 to go in the fourth quarter, and the Chiefs have 1st and 10 at midfield. Let's take a look at this play, and then we'll break it down. Got Mahomes in the shotgun. He's got 2 to his left, 3 to his left, and 1 to the right. He drops back, fires deep over the middle to Xavier Worthy, who accelerates past the defense and makes a falling catch in the end zone for a touchdown. So what's going on this one? Well, the Chiefs are in 12 personnel in the shotgun. They've got 1 running back, Samaje Perine, and their 2 tight ends are Noah Gray and Travis Kelce. They've got Xavier Worthy in the slot here and Hollywood Brown isolated on the right side. So what they end up doing are deep curls and then a flat route. So their curls are going to be with Travis Kelce's going to come and run a deep curl. Hollywood Brown's going to come and run a deep curl. Then Perine comes to the flat. Gray goes to the flat. And Xavier Worthy runs a post down the middle. So the Eagles are here in cover 4. And should make clear, the Eagles secondary, these are not their regulars at this point. This looks like the backup secondary. They do have some regulars on the defensive line here, but probably because, you only can rotate through so many defensive linemen. But this does not appear to be their starting secondary, so that should be noted when breaking this play down. But watch as Kelce comes down for the curl. So see, they've got curls here to try to occupy these guys in the cover 4, and then Worthy's going to take on the 2 safeties, and he's just too fast. He runs right through it, and I think the biggest thing of this for me is the kind of timing and connection on the deep ball, because that had been something that Worthy and Mahomes had struggled with through the middle of this year. They hit a good one in week 4 against the Chargers and then really struggled for a while after that, up until very late in the year. And seeing them be able to connect on this one, seeing Worthy be able to accelerate, track this one, catch it in stride, and score, and Mahomes knowing where to put it out there to give Worthy a chance to go get it where the defenders will not be able to catch up with him. That is a great sign. You love seeing Mahomes and Worthy on the same page. Very high degree of difficulty throw in double coverage, but the fact that they were able to connect is an awesome sign for Chiefs fans going forward. And I hope that will increase Mahomes' confidence in going after some of these plays, because when Worthy's deep, if you can throw it and let him run under it, you can make these throws. And I think Mahomes had been a little timid this year to try this. And I'm hoping that hitting a couple deep balls in the Super Bowl will make Mahomes a little more likely to try this later in the year. It's a great throw, a great job by Worthy tracking this and getting into the end zone. Also got to shout out the guy wearing the Joe Delaney uniform in the stands there. I feel like any Chiefs fan seeing a Joe Delaney uniform, that's a lot of respect there, wearing that jersey. But yeah, it was obviously a very disappointing game, but Xavier Worthy showed us why he can be a star wide receiver in this league, and you really hope that the connection between Mahomes and Worthy progresses in ways that this game hopefully initiated, because this could be a really fun year next year, seeing Mahomes throw to Worthy.